Torah is filled with wisdom. Sometimes it's obvious, and sometimes it's really subtle. This week's Torah portion has in a little bit of a subtle piece of wisdom that it's easy to miss, but when you catch it, it can really change things. The Torah portion begins with Aaron. Aaron, the priests, the Kohanim, have a responsibility every day to light the menorah. Today, we light candles on Shabbat. We light candles for Hanukkah. But back then, when we had a sanctuary, when we had a tabernacle, or when we had a temple, every day they lit the menorah. And what God tells Aaron is, what I want you to light it in a very specific way. The word he uses is baha'aloscha, to raise. Because I don't want you just to light the candle. I want you to light it in a way in which you put the flame on the bottom of the wick. And then the flame catches the wick, and so that it rises on its own. And the question people ask is, really? Like, who cares? Like, how meticulous does God have to be? Like, is that a drop micromanaging? Like, are you serious? Tell Aaron, light the candles. He wants to light it from the top down, from the bottom, whatever. He's got to literally light it from the bottom and it raise. What? Why does it even matter for? So last week, I had the good fortune teaching my son how to ride a bicycle. Until now, he was interested in football, but now there's no football leagues. And in my neighborhood, at least, the entire world is riding bikes. Like, my community is like the Tour de France, like Long Island edition. So he sees kids riding bikes. He wants to ride a bike. Wonderful. So we take him outside to ride a bike. I don't know how you teach your kids how to ride a bike. The way I do it, I don't know if it's good or not, is he just gets on the bike. And I hold on to the handles. And by holding onto the handles, I basically can control the balance. And he starts riding, and I start walking and jogging with him. And after a while, he starts to get it, however long it takes. And at some point, I move from the handles to the body. It's not as much as the handles, but at least it's something. I still can control a little bit. I can help him with the balance. And then as I see he gets a little more, I move to his shoulders, and I'm holding his shoulders, and I'm trying to control him with his shoulders, helping him balance. And at some point, I realize he's got it. So what I do is I actually, as we're running, I move to one shoulder. And as he's pedaling and I'm running next to him, I just let go. And he turns to me and goes, "Daddy, what are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean what I'm doing? I'm letting you go." He goes, "But I'm like, no, I don't understand. All of what I'm doing is just to get you to do it on your own. You needed help starting. But you got balance inside you. You can do this. You just need someone to get you going a little bit. But once you get going, you're supposed to do it on your own." Life's like that. We live in a world where people around us are filled with potential. We're filled with potential. Our spouses, our children, our friends, our communities, our students, we're built with a piece of God. We have an infinite amount of potential. So how come we're not more? How come we don't accomplish more? How come we're not deeper? How come we're not better? Because sometimes we just need a little bit of momentum. We need someone to just help us along a little bit. An encouraging word, a help with something, showing people how to do something they don't know how to do themselves, a little education, a check-in, advice. We have it. But what we need from each other is some momentum to get it going. The candles of the menorah represent wisdom. Menorah represents wisdom. The flame represents the soul. The verse says, Ki ner Hashem nishmas Adam. The candle of God is the soul of man. That soul isn't just a fire. Fire represents spirituality. That's when someone passes away, you light a candle in their memory. But God was teaching Aaron, who was the Kohen, who was the model, who was the spiritual force of the Jewish people, is that you want to know what I want from you? Don't just top down. Don't just be the best. I want you to learn how to get under the wick, get under that person, and light them up themselves. Let them light themselves on fire. Light the bottom of the wick so that the flame goes and it catches on its own. Give people the momentum that they need to achieve what they can do themselves, to let that flame come out. We are a nation of priests. We're a people of priests. Every one of us has it within us. If we look around for ways that we can light up somebody else's candle, then me and you are acting like Aaron and lighting menorahs every day of our lives.